FREDIT BRION fans, you can tell that there aren't quite as many, but each individual FREDIT BRION fan is so loud that I think it's actually relatively even here in LoL Park as far as the fan chants are concerned. Yeah. Here we are, GENG on the red side, seeing whether they can get to 21 wins and 3 losses, and FREDIT BRION wanted to give them their 4th red side loss.
Very peculiar, the start here for FREDIT BRION, much slower out of the gate. And see the Karma and Zeri pushing bottom side, just trying to hide vision on the delayed start here so nobody is spotted. And it is a winnable 2v2 versus Sivir Lulu if they do end up encountering each other, because the damage output is super high. Mantra is available early, and you can take away half of the Lulu's health bar and be like, all right, cool, good luck with your laning phase. But Ruler and Lehen is going to take the safe path down to the turret, will not be spotted out or chunked. And it looks like it's mission failure on the potential setup here for Henna and Delay. Well, failure's not fair. They just don't get the opportunity.
Yeah, Henna just going to be getting to work on these minion waves. As Ruler, now with his Ricochet, able to execute minions, going to be happy about that. The fact that it doesn't do quite as much damage will mean that the amount of push advantage that we've seen in these Sivir versus Zeri lanes is not going to be as pronounced, which could allow Zeri to really find something back here, as Ruler's just doing battle here with Delight and with Henna.
Yeah. Gotta be careful about trading up or trading down like that into this lane, because Sivir is a good matchup into the Zeri, as we've seen so many times, is the classic now. But it's not a free win in terms of just auto-attacking 2 people.
Yep.
Lava, he said, this is why we pick Victor into the Ahri in the early parts. Chovy was on the other side of this matchup earlier this season. The early parts here are going very well for the Victor, of course.
Yeah, able to get a lot of shove, and we're looking at Chovy's 100% win rate with 13.4 KDA, but also watching him taking a bit of abuse underneath this turret. Peanut is going to wrap around after clearing his top side, and Lava may have to flash here. Chovy taking a lot of damage. However, Peanut's going to turn up. That's a beautiful charm. Orb Deception's going to get the flash. And Peanut, didn't want to risk heading into a brush that could have had a Poppy lying in wait. Not going to get punished. However, Lava will stay alive even though he doesn't have his flash.
Love that respect from Peanut. You don't know where the Poppy is. You flash forward like that, could be a disaster. You know, even with the Victor that low, flashless, he is going to be able to do a lot of damage back. Chovy's not in a position to chase with you. As, okay, this is not a fight you want to be taking.
Yeah, does manage to claim the Crystal Spire.
That's massive, because with that, it is winnable.
Yeah. Lahen's coming on over. 2v2 is going to come on through here as the chain will connect. And Delight is going to put on even more damage here. Gets a Mantra Q over, and Henna finds an Extendo Beam. Big win here as Umpty manages to come through and steal away the jungle from the Skarner.
Yeah, this is a pretty big swing here, bottom side of the map-wise, as Karma and the Zeri going to get a little bit more lane control, turn that into an advantage here. Peanut losing some of his farm, and this is really unfortunate for a Skarner who really just wants to race to level 6. We've seen very low impact from the Skarner in the early game. You know, this time he was, of course, able to make a huge one because he got the flash out of Lava. But level 6 is what he's really looking for.
Yep. I was having a bit of a giggle because Morgan's counterplay to the Gnar being forward was stand in that brush and do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Sometimes that's how you have to do it.
Yeah. Doing less is more sometimes, guys. Learn from the Lord. As Doran just going to dive onto the Horn a little bit, but capable of soaking up a bit of harassment here is the good old Horn.
Chovy's going to come over here and push Umpty out because Lava's wave is pushed through. He just teleported back, so this means that Peanut will not get double scuttled. I think this is a really nice assist here from Chovy. Doran also over here.
Yep.
And this is what the prio in this lane is going to get you on the top side of the map, because otherwise you get double scuttled as Peanut. You're really starting to fall behind on the map where, you know, the Poppy is strong pre-6, you are not as the Skarner.
Yeah, Lahen's trying to get a bit of harassment down. That cannon does go away from Henna.
Yeah, that was crazy how well Ruler and Lahen's played to zone him out of that and make sure he couldn't get it. He just barely was denied it.
Yeah. Does mean now that GENG will be able to get this wave shoved up. Couple of longswords here for Ruler, not going to give him all of the wave clear that he wants, but definitely gives him more than what Henna has. So as you can see, the Sivir doing some Sivir things. Doesn't quite get the boomerang at the right ebb on that one. But still, GENG find themselves exactly the amount of push that they want.
Yeah, knowing that they could see the Poppy, of course, top side is pretty massive for this bottom push. They know they can actually push the issue here really hard and are not under any gank threats. Peanut, of course, top side too. So it's just straight up an isolated 2v2. And Henna and Delight didn't know at that moment in time where Peanut was. So they actually have to even be careful about trading back. As you can see, Ruler is running out of mana here. We'll be able to take it back with this push pretty soon. And, you know, first Drake is up, but like we've talked about so much in just the first game here and on the pre-show, not really a early Drake meta. And we're seeing less souls taken in all regions on this patch too, because it just takes so long to get that first Drake.
Yep.
And this will be no exception.
Especially when it's a Skana and a Poppy here as well, who don't necessarily, like, we don't have the Olafs, you know, they're just not there. And GENG are going to rotate over now and look to potentially at least get some control of this area. A bunch of pings coming through from FREDIT BRION. They're not wanting to give this one away for free, as Lehens might just be able to stop it back, but no, decides to let him go home.
Yeah, he doesn't have vision of Karma. If he knew the Karma was backed already or something like that, could have actually flashed for the delay, and then they commit, delay that back, and then grab a Drake. But otherwise, he's just going to walk it out here, and now Delight is unfortunately caught under this turret here, and it's going to be Umpty trying to start up Drake, it looked like there on the minimap. I think he made the right choice to not do so, considering how little control they have of this part of the map right now.
He's actually going to come through and have a look for Chovy here. Spirit Rush is available. He is going to try and use it, but the Steadfast Presence is too good. And Lava will pick up first blood against Chovy's Ahri.
Yeah, really nicely played here from Umpty with a Steadfast Presence. Will Lava get out?
Oh dear, well, Peanut doesn't have his ult. However, he does get a stun. Great little sidestep from Peanut, but still they need to do some more damage. Ruler flashes and will be able to pick up the kill. The Ornhorn comes down though, and Ruler is punished for the over-aggression. GENG find themselves still in a kill deficit.
Yeah, that was a really aggressive play from Ruler. Flashes for it. Has Spell Shield, of course, available, but take your W's where you can get them. You don't have to force a trade up like this. You could just walk away and be like, all right, well, we lost somebody here, but that's okay. And the Steadfast Presence was really well played from Umpty. They end up getting Chovy away. But FREDIT BRION, you know, I guess the idea why Ruler looks for this is he's so nervous that with this Herald spawning that FREDIT BRION are just going to have that extra prio with Chovy being down and teleportless, and they'll take it down. But they don't have the damage to do that just yet. This is a Victor Zeri comp. They will, of course, be able to potentially force a team fight, but they're not going to be able to sneak a Herald under out from under your eyes. So Ruler losing a little bit of control here in the bottom side, because not only does he lose Flash with this play, but will, of course, spend a lot of time away from lane. So Zeri picking up a 15 CS advantage right now is pretty massive. As we go all the way back to Umpty, holding for this one, goes over here, does have the Flash available. Steadfast Presence just locks Chovy in. It was really easy for Umpty to actually pull this off, considering how far Chovy was up in the lane without any vision of where the Poppy is.
Beautiful timing as well on the Steadfast Presence, because I thought the Spirit Rush would just be able to be used and get him out of there. Sidestep here from Peanut was nice, but Doran not being able to stick around, I think, was the death nail here for Ruler, and Morgan getting a fantastic rotation over and just calls the Ram to help them grab that kill follow-up. So Lava does fall. However, 2 plates to the Zeri.
Yeah.
And you can see, FREDIT BRION, they have a 1.3k gold lead here.
It's that. I mean, it's the fact that the top side matchup is going so well for Morgan here, too. He stayed even. He had that rotation over to pick up an assist. And Herald is
before.
Yeah.
This time Peanut does have his ult available. That Impale is going to be up. Peanut secures his blue buff at least. And now FREDIT BRION looking to take some control of the river. This Ocean Drake has just been sitting here for a very long time.
FREDIT BRION would love to actually get both if they can right now. Obviously, the top side fight is going to be advantageous for them because they have the Call of the Forge God coming back up. Lava's going to be able to do a lot in this fight. Obviously, Umpty going to have ult too. It's very much more the harder composition to fight on Rift Herald with as GENG here. But I think the fact that the Drake is just so hard to take at this stage makes it difficult for FREDIT BRION to try to commit to both. And I think the better option will be to just grab that extra gold top side. They already have a lot of scaling in this comp. They don't need to force Drake fights in their favor. Some indecisiveness, though, in that regard so far here.
Yeah, haven't seen Peanut go for any of these flash plays either. Hex Flash is still disabled, by the way, guys, just to let you know, as Chovy's going to get Chaos Stormed. He doesn't want to ult, isn't going to need to, as Chaos Storm doesn't go too fast at this point in the game. Umpty is going to be taking the Drake, while Peanut takes himself the Rift Herald. See whether Doran does rotate down there to grab himself some extra money. He's lit on fire for a moment as Henna's skating on in as Ruler has his spell shield. Delight ignites him, but Ruler is just able to run around in circles a little bit, and that is going to completely dissipate any aggression. Umpty on this Drake unable to help out for now, but both of these teams able to pick up a neutral objective each. Peanut actually getting the local gold by himself, which isn't exactly the greatest, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Gnar who could have, you know, benefited quite significantly from the extra gold, but he wanted to continue to push and keep the Ornn at bay. Peanut's going to come over here, still away at Gromp. He's getting a lot of money. He's getting accelerated a little bit in this game. It's a Skarner, so, you know, what does that really mean? Not a whole lot, unfortunately, for Peanut, but I think that for FREDIT BRION here, you could have tried to force one fight of the two because your team fighting comp is way stronger at this point before the Kraken Slayer's up for Ruler. You have Ornhorn, you have the Victor damage, etc. You obviously have the ability to, okay, hold on, Lava.
Yep, Lava is just going to get impaled. He is really dead, guys. Does have Flash just coming off cooldown, but it's off cooldown as he enters the Death Chamber. That's a great heroic charge, though. Ulti comes through, and Doran is traded. Just out of position there. Really nice punishment. And FREDIT BRION, they've been able to take something back every time Genji's gone for a play.
Exactly. See if Henna can get out of this one, though.
Yeah, does ult as Lahen's not wanting to tank this turret for too long, but he will actually do so. Wild Growth comes through as Ruler's trying to trade this one back. Peanut coming down, but Lahen's going to get the bad news. He's going to have to flash here to get himself out of the way. Extendo Beam, and is not going to be enough, but Delight with a Flash Mantra Q will pick it up.
It's starting to look less and less likely tonight's going to be the big 3,000 for Lahen. So unfortunately, tanking way too much of that turret. Then, of course, a really nice follow-up play from FREDIT BRION. They use the Extendo Beam. I think Lahen probably would have lived if he ends up getting hit by it, but the slow is a big problem, so he kites left, which gives just enough time for the Flash Mantra Q to finish him off. Really well played there from Delight, who will pick up the kill in the end. Luckily for Genji, it's not the Zeri who does end up getting this. But man, FREDIT BRION are just winning these out trades, I guess is the best way to put it, where every time Genji tries to be proactive, FREDIT BRION, like you said, are trading up, and this is not a good thing for Genji, considering the scaling aspects of both of these compositions. It's definitely leaning towards FREDIT BRION, who already have that extra Drake buffer. With the amount of control they have over the map right now, too, the Herald isn't going to necessarily be big value.
Well, this time Lava has his flash. Charm is going to connect there as well. Orbit Deception, just the tip, and that is a dead Victor. Ornhorn coming down as Doran flashes to get himself out of the way of it. Peanut now in amongst a couple of members of FREDIT BRION, and he puts down Shelly to look to really put Genji in the lead. They will be able to do so. Chovy collects a bunch more money as well. And in that instant, Genji claim the advantage again.
Yeah, finally Genji really trade up and only up in this one. Able to get Lava there with a really nice charm from Chovy. Also, as Chovy retreats, he's realizing there's a chance there's a turn. There's a chance Morgan's going to Ornhorn him, so gets the charm, doesn't follow up. But I thought this was really beautifully played here. Lava, this is the previous catch. Unfortunately, he's just way too far forward without any vision. Morgan should have called out, okay, I have no idea where Doran is. Then Doran just chases forward here and ends up getting ulted. That's really unlucky. And then Lahen's here, let's see, grabs aggro and then just does not go around the top brush there because he's scared he's going to get caught by somebody else. Wild Growths, and then this is where it gets really nasty because he has flash, uses it over the wall here, but has to go left because of Extendo. I think if he gets hit by Extendo, he doesn't die, but the slow kills him, so you lose there either way. And then Lava here, look at Chovy. Gets the charm as he kites back. He's like, I love the distance Chovy has there. He's just perfectly out range of even getting slowed by the Ornhorn. That's some big gamer brain right there.
Yeah, it's really nicely done. But you could imagine that there was like a split second where Lava could have potentially flashed towards the end of that fight, but wanted to get as much damage down onto Peanut before he flashed away, and that was his demise in the end. But still, means that the Victor will have his flash available for the next potential battle, possibly in 50 seconds time, as this Cloud Drake is going to be spawning. As Genji looking to lock down this blue buff, and Delight lying in wait to try and catch someone rotating over. It's Chovy that claims the blue.
Yeah, a lot of free push here for Henna right now. And he's going to have that bottom side prio. And, I mean, Umpty's here. He's got ult flash.
It's a lot of vision here.
Like, I don't think Genji should realistically be able to force a fight over this. Doran on the top side pushes through, doesn't have teleport. But this is when you've got to be decisive, FREDIT BRION. You know, in 20 seconds to go, you're way too early on the setup for this objective. You either need to look for a pick or find something else. As, I mean, again, GENG cannot get in here until they get that mid-prio from Chovy. Now, the fight is on.
Well, Peanut is looking for his way in. He does have Predator and Flash, but Umpty flashes first. Chovy is going to have to try and get out of here. Steadfast Presence is going to allow that kill to come through, and both of them are mopped up. No solo lanes for you, GENG, and FREDIT BRION can now take whatever they want.
That's the decisive call I was looking for. That's the moment where you realize, okay, FREDIT BRION know their win conditions around this Drake fight. They have the better setup, and yes, mid-prio pushes through. Chovy thinks he's free to rotate over. That's when you collapse. That's when you blow up both solo laners and grab this Drake. It will be, of course, at the cost of a little bit of bottom push here, but Morgan can tidy that one up on his own. Really well played here from FREDIT BRION. Now a 2-Drake lead with upgraded elementals for the team that has the Victor, the Zeri, the Ornn composition. Yeah. And it's all just off the back of this aggressive play here. GENG think, okay, we can rotate over, and it's just instantly the call to go on to Ahri from Umpty. They slow him, knock him up, ult comes through, and that's a double kill. And they're calling to hold bottom.
But the General definitely able to get all of the information out. As Lava is being picked on, this is bullying and it's not very fair. However, he's got friends, and he's going to be shielded up by Delight. He'll be absolutely fine. As GENG are going to back away. Henna is still just trying to fight this one out. And FREDIT BRION able to stand their ground now.
Yeah, FREDIT BRION in a really nice spot in this game. Chovy's going to get a whole turret, which is what GENG does when they fall behind. In the rare cases they do, is they just say, all right, Chovy, well, they take him off the leash, like, all right, take all the farm. We're going to leave this one up to you in the mid-game. And so far, he's getting a lot of value. His Peanut will be interrupted.
Yeah, almost gets halfway through the sky before he's told that he has to come back. As Chovy may have to ult, and he does so. Gets over the wall, but this means Shirley is going to be started here by FREDIT BRION.
Yeah, the timing of this for GENG, I think the idea is Chovy pushes out that side lane. He rotates over. They look for a team fight. But unfortunately, they're not at full health. You know, Peanut's back is interrupted. They're all a bit disjointed here. And now with the wave crashing through on mid, this is going to be a free Herald here. And unfortunately, GENG, yeah, they're going to get this bottom turret, but the second Herald, it's a beefy one. It just slows the game down so significantly. Doran is just going to deny some CS, but it's a cannon wave, so not going to be too impactful here. An Umpty bodyguarding for Lava. They grab second Herald here and might be able to drop it if they could turn a fight.
Yeah, you got Chovy coming on up, looking to get rid of all of these minions. Will be able to do so, as now Henna is going to ult on top of Ruler. On the hunt, not available, does have his flash. But FREDIT BRION have no minions. They're against a Sivir, and so therefore, taking down this turret is a difficulty. Chovy still just looking to try and clean these waves over and over again. Does manage to lock it down, and is now looking for a back timing. Peanut will find Umpty there, as we can see this 2v2 moving over towards the mid lane.
Lava just has so much power, so much backup here on the top side.
Yeah.
And Victor versus an Ahri, it's hard for the Ahri to all in.
Well, now Henna and Delight are taking so much damage from Ruler. He does get snared. Henna hops over the wall, but Ruler gets the wild growth. He takes a turret shot, though, takes two of them, and it's Henna that locks down the kill. Now Doran is going to punish him, but another Inspire Shield comes out from Delight. I take back everything I said about Karma. She's the best champion in the game. And Chovy's up here clearing up mini waves once again. But that's one more time FREDIT BRION winning a fight.
Yeah, one more time FREDIT BRION trade up, and Lava almost gets a whole turret here at the same time. So two outer turrets very low here. As we're going to go back to this moment here, Lava slowed and pulled over by the Impale. Flashes out, Henna comes over, has a lot of damage here. The Inspire Shield is massive. Then they decide to fight this one out, and I think this was a very aggressive call from Ruler. This has so much damage here. I love that Henna's not afraid. They have the backup here from Morgan. This is just really good shot calling overall from FREDIT BRION, saying, all right, if they're going to push this, we can actually trade something back, as it has been so many times. The Mantra Shield does come through to keep him alive. Trade up, almost getting two turrets there, both of which will be standing gold on the map here for FREDIT BRION to catch up to GENG, but it's the scaling aspects of this composition that GENG should be most worried about here. Azeri already has her Phantom Dancer online, was given a free pass to that second item.
Yeah, no, exactly right. I think as far as two items are concerned, I think Ruler is a little bit stronger with the fact that he does have that Kraken Slayer for the extra damage, but still, he can't be walking up and taking two turret shots
Yeah.
Trying to kill Delight that doesn't even go down.
Not to mention that, I mean, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Ruler is definitely spiking harder right now, but you still have 2 Drakes of buffer to get into before you can threaten fights.
Well, Ruler is in Ruler position and he's dead. This is some very interesting play to come through from GENG. We haven't seen this out of Ruler. Certainly making some mistakes at this stage. GENG trying to hold on to this minion wave. This inner turret is in trouble as Chovy gonna hop on over Gravity Field just to try and deny the entry, and that is a dead turret now. FREDIT BRION, they can just walk it out, and they're just staying grouped up as 5, and they can do this so confidently.
Yeah, 20 seconds until this spawns. Ruler will not be here. So as long as FREDIT BRION control these choke points, they should be able to start this one up. Much tougher to do so, of course, on this patch, but the Drake damage itself is nerfed, so someone could hold that aggro. And with Henna starting to hit these extendo beams through these walls, it can be very difficult to approach.
Well, there's the knock up onto Peanut. Has to move out of this gravity field as well, as Doran off to the side, just trying to stop them from killing his Skarner. Death Ray is going to do a lot of work, and now Chovy and Ruler find themselves together. All right, GENG grouped back up as 5. Their health bars have been in better order in the past. And now Extendo Beam is going to land onto Chovy. Good Charm connects onto Morgan. And they can't take all of this free damage. They're going to have to back away. And GENG are going to pick up the aggro on this Drake. FREDIT BRION.
They dropped the ball. They dropped
did.
The ball. And they are able to kill Ruler. They have the Drake controlled, but they don't start it early. They want to force a fight around these choke points. The Oran Horn is used in a really inopportune moment. It lands an Extendo Beam, but there's no follow-up. There's no lethal damage. The rest of the team is not on the same page.
Shirley?
Yeah, she got dropped. It's all right. Well, she won't be, but, you know, yeah, it happens. Time's out, I guess. So the pick onto Ruler here is so important until it isn't, because FREDIT BRION use all of their tools before starting Drake. If you start the Drake first and then watch them walk at you, then you force the fight in the choke point. That's how you do it. But if you Oran Horn away from the Drake, and then once Ruler's back and everyone on GENG is up and has better ultimates than you, then you start the Drake, that's not the way. GENG will win the fight, will take their first Drake of the game. A lot of the momentum here for FREDIT BRION now lost. I think FREDIT BRION were so used to the old Drake style. Because remember, this is a team that controls Drake so well, even in losses. They're used to, okay, we come to Drake, we have better team fight for Drake. The other team just walks away. It's not that world anymore because the Drake is so much more difficult to take. And GENG have a lot of ways to buy time, especially when you're ulting an Ornn through a wall and there's no follow-up damage outside of an Extendo Beam.
Yeah, it just wasn't quite enough, and then they ran out of buttons and couldn't really fight after everything was sort of reset. Chovy is able to clear out waves very, very comfortably. 50 CS in the lead now. Side laning, once again, a thing that GENG very capable of with this composition. The Ahri affording them that one alongside the Gnar very effectively. And we'll see whether FREDIT BRION have an answer for it, because they still have a slight gold advantage, but as we crest, you know, the 25-minute mark and things like this, it's going to mean less and less. As Ruler, possibly caught out, does have his spell shield. It's not actually procced, as he takes a lot of damage and the slow from Delight towards the end there.
Yeah. Will get out this time, luckily for him. Has to ghost, as Doran is going to be the biggest winner of this on an individual level, as he's going to try to push for this down here on the bottom side. There's no real Baron take angle, unfortunately, for FREDIT BRION, despite pushing the 80 carry out and Doran being down here. He has teleport anyways, so it's really quite a lull state that we're going into right now. And in some ways, this favors the scaling comp for FREDIT BRION, but it has to be with good team fights. This comp just doesn't win by default because the game goes later. Has to be everybody's grouped up, has to be the ultimates used correctly together. As looking for a pick.
Yep, Doran's going to crush his way out. There's the Oran Horn. Not going to hit the first time around. And there's the flash. And so, Gnar without a flash, definitely far less scary. Moving into the next fight, whatever that may be. Baron is available, has been for 4 or so minutes. But with the game state this close, it's very difficult for any one team to really lock that one down. And Peanut has flash, Predator, Chem Tank, like, Henna has to be very, very careful. He does not have the ability to get out of that CC. Needs to buy a QSS if he wants any chance of that. Doesn't have it yet.
GENG carefully trying to steal his blue buff away. Will fail.
Health.
And have this choke point controlled. And this is when Impale value goes through the roof, is when a team has to walk at a Skarner trying to get into that choke point, do the damage with their hyper carries. The Victor and Zeri are closely becoming here. The Zeri at this stage very close to the IE, but not close enough just yet. We'll need probably about 20 or so more CS before Henna will be able to pick that one up. Ruler, on the other hand, still also halfway to his third item, but this is where things can really start to go downhill for GENG. If Henna can actually start to consistently land that poke damage before a fight starts, not, with some setup CC, but then that's all he does, unfortunately, as the rest of the team is retreating. Like, I think FREDIT BRION haven't even really utilized the advantages they've been given this game just yet, and I do think once that IE is hit for Henna, we'll start to see that come online. Actually, just only has the pickaxe and crit cloak here, just barely not enough money.
Very close to recipe completion, but not quite there. Ruler is taking a timeout for a last whisper, possibly Lord Dominic's, which you can understand. There is a Poppy and an Ornn in this game, and so shredding health bars is certainly going to be made easy with the armor pen.
Let's see if he has the money to buy. I think he's doing Wolves right now. He pushed that wave in. I think he's also very close, but he might not have enough time to back now and get it, so I guess he's just going to be... Last Whisper is all he's got here for this Drake fight. FREDIT BRION would be getting the sole point if they win this.
Yeah, Morgan going to get charmed though. There's the Everfrost. Can they get enough chain CC as Umpty doesn't quite have an angle? The Impale going to be used onto the Ornn, and he will be taken down eventually. Umpty now trying to run his way out as Doran was tanking for a very long time. Henna looking for that Zeri angle as Lahan's getting out of the way of the Extendo Beam nicely. But it's just the Ornn that goes down. He's got teleport, but Chovy fishes for a charm, and he will find it onto Lava. Not lethal damage, but still will get them low, and it's going to make it difficult for FREDIT BRION to go for a fight around this Drake, and they might have to give up another one.
Yeah, without the Ornn here, without those health bars, they are definitely going to have to give this up, and Ruler's in mid catching this wave wasn't even really involved in that last fight. He just wants the money to grab the third item. And GENG here, this is what I was talking about with this Cardinal. You can actually just kill the Ornn. You can just grab the Ornn. Sometimes it's at a high risk, it's at a high cost of the enemy team then turning while you use all that CC, but Doran was there to stop a collapse through, and while Lava and Henna were doing a lot of damage in the choke point in the interim, they still end up trading back a lot here with Chovy just doing so much in these fights. Look, Ornn's gone, look at the Extendo Beam here, not getting a ton of value. Chovy is able to cleanse with his unsealed spellbook, get away, but then as you chase here, you can't get Doran. Chovy bringing people low, and that's the end of this fight. Like, Henna does not have the ability to actually just straight up carry here without his ultimate, without his Infinity Edge. He does have it now, but GENG will even up the Drakes.
Exactly, it's just a little bit too little too late as far as Henna's damage. And looking at Chovy in that fight, like, you could see how much respect FREDIT BRION had for the Ahri. There was like an Orb of Deception's range length around Chovy of the zone of control that he had. It was very impressive. Morgan, once again, not going to quite find the CC here. He will get punished, but not too much. He's an Ornn. He's got his Force of Nature and his Thornmail, and he's very, very tanky. Ornaments starting to be dealt out as well. We've got upgrades for most people, just Umpty and Delight looking for theirs.
Now, Force of Nature is super strong here against the Shadow Flame Victor, and he went Chem Tank as well, so when he does go in for a grab, he basically has impunity, not to mention a potential wild growth that could be used onto him if anyone does try to collapse through.
Yeah, Skarner with AoE CC, who knew?
It's pretty crazy, as over here, GENG do not have any control over this Drake. Doran does have teleport. They have a control ward in here. It's time to turn.
Yeah, Doran actually going to go back first, as Baron's doing a fair bit of work, but Chovy diving on forward finds another charm onto the Ornn. Boomerang doing a fair bit of work as well, as Chovy is tagged by that Extendo Beam. There's the flash onto the Zeri though, as Doran's looking to lock her down, and they will be able to take out the hyper carry. It's Chovy that's awarded the kill. Morgan's going to go down as well, as Ruler picks that one up. And GENG, there was so many things that went wrong, but this fight absolutely not. And now FREDIT BRION are completely routed. It will be a Baron over to GENG if they want it, and they're not going to lose anyone for the favor.
And that is basically a game-winning fight here for GENG. Now you have so much control over the map. You're always going to have, with this Baron, so much vision control too. And for FREDIT BRION, this team fighting composition needs great setup. And once again, it's just the more proactive plays coming through from GENG. We talked about the tankiness of Peanut. He has Merc Treads, Chem Tank, and Force of Nature, plus Wild Growth. So he can just go, you know what, I think I will try to kill the Zeri. I think I will try to impale the Zeri. And you shouldn't be able to, with all the peel, with all the CC. But look at Peanut's positioning here. They're doing damage on the Chovy. Peanut's still at full health, Bullet still health. It's still at full health, and he's like, all right, I grabbed her, and look at all the damage they try to put onto him. Doesn't even go below half. Doesn't even go below half. Chovy's here on the flank. Chovy's like, okay, once you kill this area, we're just going to make sure we kill all of them, right? I'm already on the flank. I got you guys. Nobody's getting out of here alive. And that's a Baron, a decisive team fight. And Zeri should never be catchable by a Impale at this stage in the game, but when you're trying to make these calls, you're trying to be decisive around Barons, you put yourself at risk against this extremely tanky Skarner. Watch Peanut.
Yeah, let's hear from him. I think he sees his angle.
Don't think I need to translate that one. Meanwhile, he's doing it again.
Yep, he is not going to find the Zeri, but he finds the Poppy. He's going to get his Sivir killed, unfortunately. Not sure quite what the... Okay, strange situation there. Okay. Sometimes you get the right Impale, sometimes you get the wrong Impale, Wolf.
Yeah, this one was onto a very tanky Umpty. And that's not the one that you normally want. That was not a Zeri Impale. We just saw it in the lower third, and I was like, I don't know, it looks exciting. Yeah, not quite.
Now we can see the setup of how this one sort of happened. So, great gravity field placement.
And look at the damage here. If he just is blown up by the Chaos Storm. The gravity field slows him down, and Umpty's like, yeah, you guys are going to try to kill me. Where's your damage? Where's the rest of your team?
I mean, Chovy and Doran were bottom lane, I think.
Yeah. So, bit of a thinker there.
Yeah.
It's like Genji's just trying to keep it interesting. Who's the real Giga Chad in this
No, exactly.
series?
Well, I think we all know that it's Morgan. That's just, I think, the rule. Henna has a last whisper now, though, and we're looking for IE for Ruler. That will be a huge spike when the Sivir does lock down that item. Chovy's feeling himself. He's got 5 pages in his Magi Soul Stealer that he just upgraded to. And he's got a stopwatch as well. We're looking for the next fight. And it's going to be around this Drake. 14 seconds on the Infernal. As FREDIT BRION, I'm going to have to deal with the fact that this Crystal Spire is giving the Skarner a bunch of cool stats.
It's going to be trying to take that one away. Lava has a lot of poke he can put on in this neutral fight with his Death Ray.
Yeah, look at how fast Peanut is with all the help from his friends. Most notably Lehens. But on the hunt is going to be available here as well.
Lava has red buff, and he's very far back. This time, Peanut's not going to be able to look for a flash play. Doesn't even have flash.
Look at Chovy.
Moment.
Yeah, Chovy in the back of the pit, looking for his flank angle, looking for his opportunity. They do get all the vision that they want as the Impale does come through, but Umpty is dragged back with him. And now Chovy finds the angle. They're looking to lock down the jungler, and they should be able to do so. Wallop connects onto Henna, who then immediately has to flash to get himself out of the way. But it's Morgan that's going to be going down first. Chovy's dancing in and out of this battle, but Henna is still alive. The rest of his team, however, are just evaporating. Sometimes you go for the Zeri first, and I guess sometimes you wipe out the front line as Lava is going to flash nicely out of the way of that charm, but every other button's going to connect, and it's a quadra kill for Chovy in the end.
Chovy played that so perfectly from the flank angle threat to the charm targets. There's so much CC towards Henna, and even though they don't blow him up instantly, they put enough threat on him and lock him down long enough, push him back far enough. He's just not able to do a lot of damage in that fight. Ruler gets set up by Chovy, and he spikes the damage in. What a beautiful team fight from Genji. There were certainly some hiccups in this series. There were certainly some poor trades and some aggressive moments. Ruler gets caught in the Ruler spot few too many times, but they win it in the end.
Yeah, and it's all off the back of this mid laner. Chovy having an absolutely awesome performance. Ruler now flashing to pad that KDA just a little bit. And they will be able to lock down a triple kill for the Sivir, but there is the 2-0 for Genji.